And this segment is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbooking app. Not only are they the top, but they're safe, they're secure, but more importantly, reliable, because we know reliability is key, right? It's very, very key. But the thing that we're loving about DraftKings right now is the fact that, man, if you are a first-time user, which, I mean, if you are a first-time user, where have you been? Have you been living under a rock? It's neither here nor there, because me and Deke, we're not first-time users. But if you are a first-time user, make sure you use the promo code Moats, because you will receive up to $1,000 in deposit bonus. And I mean, who doesn't like free money when you sign up for something, right? You like free money, right?
Yeah, free money is nice. And then also, especially when you're getting free money and having a good time playing fantasy sports or betting on the sportsbook.
Can't go wrong with that at all, man. So that's what DraftKings is offering, man. So make sure, if you haven't downloaded their app, make sure you download the app DraftKings Sportsbook and also their fantasy football app as well. And make sure you use the promo code Moats. Morning on one of the radio shows we were doing was Comeback Player of the Year. So right now, people in Pittsburgh wanted to be Ben Roethlisberger. Nationally, it's Alex Smith, because the difference is this. I said with Alex Smith, we talked about how he literally almost lost his life, almost lost his leg, and he's coming back. And I mean, not saying that he's played great, but the fact that he was able to make it back from that is a big deal, right? Whereas with Ben, we understand the elbow surgery, but more so we're like, man, he's still playing great. But when you're comparing an elbow to a dude almost losing his life, it's drastically different. And I compared it to, if Ryan Shazier would have ever come back, he could come back and be the absolute worst linebacker in the league. The sheer fact of him being able to come back from the injury that he came back from would win him that award. And we would all be over here singing it. Absolutely, man. I don't care what that other guy did. Ryan Shazier wasn't walking, and now he's playing. So that's nationally why Alex Smith is the front runner for that award. Even though if we're just talking about who's playing better, it's not even a debate. Ben is balling out. But because of that narrative, that's why nationally it's viewed differently than how we feel it here in Pittsburgh, man.
Well, he could take that award. I do think Ben should get that award, but he could take that award because we have our sights set on different awards. That's all for number 7 here.
Yeah.
We know what that is. MVP.
Super Bowl MVP or just regular season MVP?
Both, man.
Okay,
both.
Just checking.
I mean, yeah, we're taking it week by week, so we got to get to the Super Bowl, get the MVP. But yeah, so far up to this point, I've been saying it since before the season. I've been saying it for a while, and I feel the same. You know how I feel, and I just think more and more as we're seeing things now. People are starting to talk a little bit more. I know Eisen said something. Remember, it was a couple weeks ago I brought that up. I said tip of the cap to Eisen for bringing that up. Now there's a little more steam, which I appreciate. I mean,
multiple people, like I said, multiple people have talked about it. It just, I don't think it was up to your liking. It wasn't enough. But people have talked about Ben. He's been in conversations. It's just when you take it from a national standpoint, we take away our bias, our black and gold glasses, we take them off, and we just look at a whole NFL standpoint. Comparing to the other quarterbacks, we understand this game, he lit it up. This was one of his best games. I think it was his best game we've seen this season. It's not even close to me. I mean, it was the times you come in here and try to hype it up after 180 yards.
Well, no.
You know what I mean? Like, that's why I think it's different nationally, man.
Here's my thing, to be honest with you. I don't think how he's played in yesterday's game compared to the rest of the season is like that much different. It's like no.
See, I thought it was, though.
I do think there were some elements where like the scrambling, and I felt like there was a little bit more of like a takeover element in this game. But I just think in some games past it wasn't needed. Our running game was better. We were controlling the ball. We were trying to do different things. That's why the stats weren't completely there.
But I think when it comes to winning the MVP, though, they want to see the takeover stats, and I think that too. When we
I felt like he did though at certain spots when we needed to, controlling the clock.
You said certain spots though, right?
Yeah, but what's wrong? I don't know what's wrong with that. If we're trying to play like this complementary football of controlling the clock, and
if you're just trying to win a game, that's perfect. We're talking about winning an award. An award,
shouldn't that go with winning games? Isn't that the quarterback's job? We're trying to win games. That's it.
Not at all.
That's it.
Winning games is different than winning an award, though. We're talking about to win an award. And the reason why Russell Wilson, for example, he gets talked about so much. If Russell Wilson has an average game, their team looks bad. We saw that, right? We've seen it the past 2 weeks. Now he's not playing terrible. He's playing average, and they get whooped. We've seen Ben have an average game this season, and the Steelers still win. We've seen that a couple of times now where it didn't look like yesterday where he threw for 4 touchdowns, over 300 yards. We said Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Mahomes, like those guys have been going crazy, and that's what's keeping their teams in it and winning. When those guys have played bad or average, their teams have looked bad. Ben could go out. Man, we saw Ben, even though it wasn't all on him, he's had a 3 interception game and they still won like it was nothing wrong. We've seen Ben go out there and have 180 yards passing, they still win. These other quarterbacks, when we talk about the MVP race, when they have played bad, when they have played average, their team, it's a clear drop off. Now, a lot of that, like you said, when you talk about just who has a better team, sometimes that works against you when it comes to awards like this. Him having the better team, it does hurt him in that argument because they're going to say, well, he's not as valuable because he can still play bad and defense can win it. Special teams can win it. The receivers can go crazy. With these other quarterbacks that have been viewed as the best of the best or in the conversation for MVP, they don't have that luxury. When they play bad, everything goes bad for them. There is no, oh, I can rely on this. Can Russell Wilson rely on that defense to get him out of a stadium right now? No. He can't rely on his special teams to save him. No, he has to do it all himself. And I think that's why they talk about him so much.
When have we like relied on that? I don't know when Ben had. I don't know when Ben has had a bad game, or when have we like been like, oh man, like we need bailed out or anything. I thought we've been been playing good football on both sides the whole time.
We've already talked about the difference of how we view his quarterback play. You gave him an A+ when he had, I think it was a 180-yard passing game. And then you would probably
first game. It was over 200 yards.
But then you would probably give him another A+ for today's game or yesterday's game.
I wouldn't. I'd probably go A. But see, he had a pass or two that probably should have been picked.
But see, that's the problem though, right? When he's had pass or two that should have been picked in the past, and he had an average game, you magnified it and made it like his decision making was oh so great. We're not worried about that. Now that he has a great game, you downplay it by saying, well, he probably had a pass or two that should have got picked. Who does that? You're backwards in that standpoint, man. I'm not worried about any of the passes he threw. You could talk about the two to Jesse Bates, but overall, he's had games where he's had really bad passes from a decision-making standpoint, and they either got dropped, which we pointed multiple times, or it just fell harmlessly to the ground.
You could say this about every quarterback, though. We're watching Ben every game. I mean, I've seen it with Russell Wilson. Like, even in the AZ game, I think he had 3 picks. He could have had another 1 or 2 there.
Yeah.
Like, you could see that if you're watching every game.
This conversation is never going to work because of how you view Ben. That's why I said I'm not going down there, bro. It's okay. It's okay.
But I don't get it. I mean,
it's
8-8
man.
easily, like, it was the worst offense or one of the worst offenses in the league last year. All of a sudden, this dude comes back. We're 9-0, and everyone's talking about how great our receivers are. Last year, people were ripping on Juju. People were ripping on our receivers.
Okay.
Ben comes back. Now we have the best receiving core in the league. Like, what's the difference maker? That's valuable.
Okay.
Whereas I think with these other guys, I mean, I don't know. I could speak for Mahomes because it's probably Ben and Mahomes right now in that MVP conversation. They're probably the top 2, in my opinion.
So Russell's not in that conversation?
He's still in the conversation. I'd take Ben over him right now. I mean, you just saw the last couple games with Russ. With Mahomes,
wait a minute.
Hold on.
So
with Mahomes,
you're right. Go ahead.
With Mahomes, Andy Reid. I mean, dude, his second running back is Le'Veon Bell. I mean, he's got a lot of weapons. The whole system. You saw what happened even last year when he went out. I think the Chiefs would still be a playoff team if they didn't have Mahomes. If we didn't have Ben, that's
we almost made the playoffs last year. So don't even say we're in a playoff team. We were. I mean, according to the new format, we would have made the playoffs the past 2 years.
Could we say the defense is worse now than last year? Though we kind of talked about that.
I don't think they're worse. I just think their communication is lacking. But we also said that the lack of all season hurt them.
But then that goes back to what I've said before. I just think if we're talking about the Steelers as a whole versus everyone else across the league. I mean, dude, I'm really good with where we're at 9-0. Like, I'm not complaining about some of these miscommunications or things in general, man. What were you gonna say about Russ?
I left it alone. Because I already know this is gonna go in a circle.
I want to hear it out.
I'm not doing that. No, I'm good.
No, please.
No, heck no. Because I've already said it thousands of times. I don't want to do it again.
About what? With Russ?
Nothing. I don't remember.
Come on, dude.
No, bro. I'm good. I am good, bro.
I got Ben as MVP. Dude.
We know you do. So that's why I said it's good, man. I'm not.
Right.
You were saying this 3 weeks ago when he wasn't even playing up to that part. But that's why I said for me, I'm not going to have that conversation because for you to understand it, you're never going to see that. You feel me? Like
Time out.
No, wait. You talked, right? I ain't saying nothing. I let you talk. Right. So the same way you just pulled up 2 of Russell Wilson's last 2 games, right? And you just ignored what he did before then. You're doing a flip with Ben. You're ignoring everything early, and now you're letting this one game take over as if he's played like that the whole year.
Because I said I feel like he's pretty much played this way outside of a couple plays that I saw.
Well, statistically, he hasn't played that way. Decision making,
which I don't
sure.
But that's what I'm talking about. The eye test
standpoint that matters. Stats matter when it comes to awards.
Well, the whole thing's subjective anyway. That's the thing, is it not? It's most valuable.
It's not subjective.
Most
man.
Valuable.
We know what most valuable means in the NFL. Who has the better numbers? It's no
I
different.
think that's more offensive player of the year. I think that's more.
But
stats.
that's how they used MVP as well. We know this.
I could tell them they're wrong. That's all. Well, like I said, it's absolutely subjective. Saying valuable because it goes back to Giannis and LeBron. Like,
man, and this is why I'm not having this conversation because we do this every time. You forget every time, and then we go down this rabbit hole.
That's fine.
40 minutes of talking about a circle when it's going to end it. We know that you feel Ben is the MVP. You've already said you felt like Ben should have won MVP numerous times, whether it was Super Bowl, whether it's regular season, and then we know that he hasn't even received a vote yet. So clearly there's a disconnect between your opinion and the national media's opinion. So it is what it is. I'm not saying who's right or wrong. It just is what it is.
I'm glad you said that.
I know you was going to say something.
I was going to say they're wrong. They're wrong. But all right, I'm sorry, dude. Maybe that was one of the questions. You know,
you're good. You're good.
You know, I had to get that out there. I'm sorry.
Trust me, we know.
Okay.
Trust me, we know.
What was even the question? It was talking about national media and disrespect.
Yeah, we're already good. We're already good. So you ready for the next one?
Dude, I had to. Because, dude,
I already see for your social media, man. You already had it dialed up, man. Your narrative is clear. Ben for president.
The buzz is building. The buzz is building.
If Ben gets MVP this year, he should single-handedly thank you for it, man. Because you are the grassroots version.
He should thank himself.
Man.
He should thank himself.
That's humble of you. That's humble of you.
It's not me. It's not me. I'm just calling it like I see it. That's all.
It's all good, man. It's all good. He could be team MVP. He'll definitely get team MVP.
No, he should be NFL MVP.
I'm just saying he got to start somewhere. I hope he gets team MVP at least this year.
It's whatever, man. At the end of the day, I think he's about the wins. That's my point. Like, I don't even think he cares about MVP or not. I'm probably the one that maybe cares or not, because if it doesn't happen, I'm discrediting the whole thing for sure.
It's kind of like the LeBron effect, right? If LeBron didn't win the championship in Orlando, we'd be crying to whoever it was. LeBron wins, they call it a Mickey Mouse ring now. So if Ben wins the award, we're going to talk about the people did a great job of voting for him, man.
They finally came around, yeah.
Right, but if they don't, then it's, oh, man, it's a joke. It's subjective. We don't care what they say. So I got it. It's all good. It's all good. Such is life, man.
It is. But, hopefully they do come around.